Good afternoon, friends and fellow travelers. It's Brandon, and Ash and Winston are with me today. And today we are visiting Willow River State Park, one of the first places we went when we first met each other, when I took that drive up to Wisconsin for the first time from St. Louis. So we are kind of living with nostalgia today. Let's take a look at what we have today. There is Ash and Winnie. And here's our first look at the state park area today. We're gonna make it over to the falls here shortly. We decided to go to the end of the park road and continue on from there. A little different than what we did last time. Last time it was really cold in March. Of course, we're recording this in April now, and it's supposed to be in the 50s today, so that's very nice to finally have a decent day to actually go out and explore when it's not frigid, because it has been even really chilly here in April. I went over to take a look at this little seating area they have. So yes, we've been here once, but it's been almost over a year now. That's crazy to think. Beautiful day today. It's shaping out to be. And we're gonna get on a trail and hike to look at the falls today. That's our plan. Hope everyone's doing okay. We want to say a big thank you to everybody again for 500 subscribers. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for your likes, comments, subscribing to the channel. And if you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe, and join us on our next adventure. And let us know where you want to see us go. We'll go anywhere. There's no limit to that. It's because we live in Wisconsin and we're right on the border of Minnesota. We do frequent these locations, yes, but that doesn't mean that we won't go anywhere. Everything is open. Harnessing the Willow River. Little Falls Dam, so that is where we are going here. Several places you can sit right on the edge of the river. Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen the spot that we're going up to here, so let's see what this is. I can already hear the river rushing from here, so there are some folks fishing down there. I can imagine. Looking out at the Willow River. On a beautiful April day. Winston. Hi. Winston always gets his photo op. To see it from this angle. I'm gonna go down here and take a look and see what we have. So there's a better view of it. Water rushing out. And they don't have all the spillways open. The force of the water. It's just a short little downhill. Portage route. Come over here and see. I guess it's not much. Pretty sure the trail over there, up there, said it was closed. So I guess the trail is deteriorating in condition over time. Winston's trying to bring me down with him. And back uphill. Off to see the next location. And we made it back. We traveled back down the road just a little bit, and now we are by the Pioneer Trail. So this will take us to the falls. It's 1.2 miles each way to my understanding. So now we'll continue on the Yellow Trail, or the Pioneer Trail, which will eventually lead to a great overlook of Willow Falls. This park, like other Wisconsin state parks, is $13 for a day pass for Wisconsin license plates and $16 for a day pass for out-of-state plates. They also have annual passes available. So we're going to take this yellow one here all the way up to Willow Falls, where we will get a look here shortly. And I did also read that it's called the Pioneer Trail because there are old grave sites of the first white settlers to the area. So we'll probably run into those as well. We'll see what that looks like. There are a few different things to look at in this park other than just the falls. We saw the dam earlier. And you can go and look at the upper Willow River. And they also have a trail that actually goes right into the town of Burkhart, which not anything crazy at all. When I say that, that's a town. We've driven through it a few times. I mean, there's a couple restaurants, couple bars, but it's interesting that they have a trail from the state park that goes right into town. So we continue on the journey, and we will eventually get to the falls. What's all the buzz? A little early in the season to see all those here, but you see the bees, hummingbirds, moths. We also have the monarchs and different butterflies. Lots of different plant life in this park, which wouldn't be what it is without our pollinators. So a new perspective, we've had a few new perspectives lately, especially at Devil's Lake recently. If you didn't see that video, check that out. You know, we've never taken this trail here at this park, so this is a new experience and a different perspective to necessarily see the falls. Going into a more wooded area. Considering summertime, this trail is probably more densely packed with foliage. It's still at a stalemate from winter, as it's still frosting nearly every night here in April. And we've got some pretty dense mud that I'm walking through. That's cool. Love that. Couple options here for the trail. And back in the forest, Winston's excited because there's another dog in front of us. Now, the actual Willow Falls trail is connected to a parking lot which we couldn't get to today. I am assuming that's because it's already full. It did say closed, but just the other day we drove by and it was just full. So at this time of the day, I imagine that's probably the issue. But otherwise, that Willow Falls trail is a 0.4 mile up and down quite a steep grade hill down to the falls and back up to the trailhead and the parking lot. So it's not far, but it'll take your breath away with how hilly it is. But that's the most direct way to get to the falls. I would call this trail so far moderate, as it has its uphill and downhill, especially at this time of the year where portions of it, large portions of it, are mud, as rain and mixed precipitation from winter still popping up. As you see, things are still not in bloom yet. And friends, this is the closest state park to our home base. Located near Hudson, Wisconsin. And we march on. We're walking past what I assume to be some campsites here, and now the trail description did say you would walk through the 100 and 200 campground. And just imagining camping in such a beautiful area with the kids and being able to walk to the falls relatively easy. Definitely bringing up the possibility of the first camping trip of the year. I have to look into it. Winston's really enjoying his time here today. He always loves just to get out. Now he's looking at you. No river views or anything yet over here, so I'm curious to how this trail shapes up the closer that we get to approaching the falls viewing area. And now, since that parking lot is as apparently we're not able to reach it, this is the next closest option that I could find on the park map to get to the falls. Yeah, another campsite. Looks like they have fire pit. Looks like dry camping, but it does look like you could pull RV, camper, trailer in there. Looks like a spot there, but it looks like dry camping. Doesn't look like any hookups or anything. And pricing, I am not sure on. But there are some state parks, some areas that you just want to be able to camp in, and I definitely think this is one of those. As you can see, quite a beautiful waterfall that we're going to get to here shortly. And you know, so close to town. I mean, you hear the vehicle traffic a little bit. You hear the sounds of the gun range that is close to here every once in a while. But otherwise, a very serene space for reconnecting with nature, close to home in our case. And if you're ever visiting the Twin Cities, if you're ever in the western Wisconsin area, it is definitely worth a stop, as you'll see here shortly. And this is another one of those parks that Ash has been to countless times. It's only my second visit here. But now I'm already planning a third visit because I want to get back and possibly camp, as this would be a good test to seeing our capabilities for camping this year, as we're so close to home. We're so close to home base that we can camp here for a night or two, realize what our capabilities are, what we need to still continue to make camping more efficient for us, and just see how it goes with the kids, because I don't think we have gone on a camping trip yet. So another big uphill. I didn't really read, I didn't catch the designation of this trail as easy, moderate, you know, strenuous, whatever. But I would definitely give it that moderate designation if I was to be the one to decide. But it's a pretty day. It's warm. I'm able to finally just wear a light jacket as it's supposed to get into the 50s today. Because stuff really doesn't even start to seem to flower and bloom until May. So that was a complete contrast than what I'm used to being from Missouri, where 18 inches of snow or less, 15 inches, 12 inches of snow a year was the max you were going to get. And a March snowstorm was a rarity. Now here, we've already had several inches of snow in April. So it's definitely different than what I'm used to, in contrast to being in my home state in Missouri. We just passed kind of another intersection on this trail, and I find it interesting that we've made a short transition to sand. It looks like that's pretty much over now that I say it, but I don't know, maybe packed dirt and sand into this. Coming up to another significant area. Early settlers, it's what I was talking about earlier. The early Euro-American settlers to the area were primarily from New Brunswick, southeastern Ontario, and Maine. I would have never known that. Historic gravesite overlook. William Scott, family gravesite, original homestead, 1849. Oh, that's recent. Nothing left, but still cool to know that this is where it was. And that goes down. And that, my friends, I do believe is the trail down to Willow Falls down there in the valley. Don't quote me, but I am fairly certain as I see multiple people down there on their way back up. And now that is a short but strenuous hike, as it is all uphill on the way back from the falls. Way over there is the Willow River where we were at prior. And this goes downwards. This is interesting. And back up. And now we have made it to the Willow River Trail, which, as you can see, what we're going down, we'll have to come back up. This is why I would say it's a short trail but strenuous, for sure. We continue straight down, but we're getting close to the falls, my friends. Winston had to stop to smell the dirt. It's a 0.4 mile out and back, and you get down there pretty quickly, but you get up really slowly. Flat area, you start to hear the falls as we have made it down the main hilly portion. As we get closer, you can kind of see it in the background. I don't want to give you the impression of there being any serenity down here, as there are people all over the place. We came here in March and we were fortunate, but now there are tons of people. You can look out over the river right past the falls. And the first look as we cross over the hill and approach the Willow Falls. Still natural. There's no dam in this area. The dam is way back where we were prior. Can't believe it's been a year since we were here. And there's a bridge you can walk across all the way up to an overlook that we weren't able to go to last year because it was closed. But now it's not. Closer look at Willow Falls. You probably can barely hear me. An undammed natural area, the Willow River. My friends, this is worth the strenuous hike and more, I would not hesitate to say. You can feel the water hitting you. You can walk as far as you want to challenge yourself. We've got people rock climbing up there. I mean, this is a very popular location. When you see the overlook, we'll try to get up there for you here shortly. It's way up the hillside. Way up the hillside. Stairs all the way up to that point. It's mesmerizing. You would have never thought, if you've never seen this state park before, from the trail and from the dam site, but yet it's remarkable. Now let's go see that overlook. Looking out the other way. Very crowded today. Need to look outward. Wow. Rock climbers rappelling down. Another way you can walk down, another view. A lot of rock climbers in this area. Back over the bridge. And here's the steps I was showing you. We're going to go up to that overlook. That last year was damaged, so they had to have redid this to give us a different perspective of the falls you just saw. Continuing way up just to add on to the trail that was already strenuous, but it's worth it, as you will see. And now, for the first time, made it to the overlook. Last year, this was closed when we came. Different perspective of the falls. Worth the climb upstairs for sure. Continuing on, back up behind the overlook now, way above the falls. back to a more foresty environment. Wow. I'd never seen it from that angle before, but that surely is a special perspective of this amazing park. My friends, you can see why we'd like to come back here a third time and camp. I mean, it is just worth it. Totally worth bringing the family back and spending a night or two here. I mean, you can't make that up. It's just outstanding. A lot of people would just pass by Hudson and not think twice about this little piece of nature, of serenity. I just encourage you to be more free-flowing in your ideas, serendipitous for the lack of another term. Go out and stop if you have the time at that pullout, at that park that's on the side of the road. It's worth your time, because just like you saw there, it's worth every minute. Continuing on the upper loop where the overlooks are over the Willow River. What a day. You wouldn't know unless you stopped, unless you knew about this park, but I would encourage everybody to stop here. It's busy. It's a little strenuous hike, 0.4 miles down because of the hill. Worse on the way up. But it's paved most of the way going down. And worth your time. We've never been to this section of the park. To my understanding, there is another overlook at some point up here. I don't know. We probably either missed it or took a wrong turn. So we'll probably turn back and head back towards the falls and eventually home. But what a day. My friends, I wanted to take a moment to share with you some future plans. I do definitely plan on getting to Fort Snelling. I know that has been recommended on Instagram to me. I do plan on getting back here to camp. We'll share that journey with you. I do also want to make it up towards Lake Superior and do Copper Falls one of these days. And I also want to make it up to Voyagers, but we will see about that one, as that's going to be a canoeing or kayaking adventure. And back on that subject, really anywhere is open for us to go. This is just the beginning of this adventure, a long adventure of travels and adventure. And Ash and I are really flying by the seat of our pants here. We will go anywhere. And for example, last year when we went to the Badlands, before we officially started the YouTube channel together, it was a spur of the moment trip. We didn't know we were going to go to the Badlands until the day we went to the Badlands. And we spent 3 days out there. And I would love to do that with North Dakota. So we will see. To get out to Theodore Roosevelt and explore North Dakota a little bit. And take another state off of our list and feature that here with you. We're approaching the other overlook. We're going to stop in and see what we have here. It almost feels darker in this area because of all the foliage, even in April before everything starts to bloom and turn into its summer form. That overlook, just another testament to just how special this park is and why so many people put this as a must stop and a very important piece of Wisconsin as a whole. You know, when Ash, during our very first date, she said, "I'm glad we've got the chance to go here. We've got a little extra time." You know, I never thought it was going to be quite to the grand scale that it is. And now, I truly can't get enough of this state park. Not being able to recommend it enough to all of you. And even as we are on our way back, we'll see the falls one more time on our way out before we make that perilous, strenuous hike back uphill to get back on the trail and head back so that we can finish the weekend on a strong note. Down we go, and you can see into the valley as we start to make our return and finish our day here at Willow River State Park. What an adventure. I implore you all to check this place out. And there's that view of the valley. You can see quite the distance on into the horizon. And you can even see Willow River itself. Winston's trying to go all the way down the steps. And through the trees you can see down at the river. And back across the bridge, looking over at the falls one more time. And one last look as we say goodbye. And we start our ascent back to the trail to make it home. Looking out over the Post Falls River. This is where the trail here shortly earns that strenuous designation. I hope you all have enjoyed your time with us today at Willow River. It has been a great adventure. We're going to continue finding spots to show you guys in the area and not locally, so that you can take trips with us. Capturing the river as we soon won't be able to see it at all. That glimpse down towards the main overlook down there gave you a glimpse of the fact that there really are so many people here. It's not just us, it's not quiet, but that doesn't take away from the fact that seeing these falls is worth it. Seeing this park, worth your time, worth the stop. Winston's going crazy about the dogs, as this is a pet-friendly place other than the beach. You can bring the furry ones. We even saw another YouTuber here. That was kind of cool. So we say goodbye to this majestic river. I'm curious though, do people kayak or anything into this atmosphere? Ask Ash. I can imagine people probably do float it, at least. Not by the falls, but I wonder. Thank you all for joining us on our adventure today. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. We appreciate all of you. We're on our way back, and I'm going to show you just how strenuous this trail gets as we head back up to the Pioneer Trail, and it begins. And now we can take a gander at what we were talking about earlier. You don't notice it as much as you are going downhill, more so on the way up. You notice the level, why we might characterize it the way we did earlier. Definitely worthy of short but strenuous for some folks, so that's why they designate it that way. As we go back uphill. Straight uphill on the way back. And again, we were unable to park at the Willow Falls Trail parking. So we have to go back along the Pioneer Trail.
There used to be a parking lot right up the top of the hill.
And here's the main section. Just about there, finally. It really isn't far to the parking lot. And that's it. Back to the yellow blazes and the Pioneer Trail through the parking lot. And now you can take that upper trail along the upper Willow River back towards Burkhart, where you'll see some little falls and little rapids. It's a beautiful little portion of the river. A lot of people still do go to that more remote part of this park. And I truly am thinking about that possibility when we go camping, to see what that Burkhart portion looks like if we're already going to be here. I also did have a viewer ask if we would be going back and doing the balanced rock at Devil's Lake. We will eventually do a Devil's Lake Part 2 video. It might be a little while, it might just be with the baby, or it might be in the summer, but there will eventually be a Part 2 where we drive to the other side, maybe hike the East Rim Trail up a little bit and see the rock formations. It just wasn't possible when we were there last week with the conditions and having to pull the stroller. We weren't prepared, and it was almost dark too, so in the future, because Ash does really love that place. Back down through the more forested area, the parking lot over there, My friends, we are just about done. In total, probably about a 3.5 mile day for hiking. Pretty good for a spur of the moment trip. It turned out to be an enjoyable day. Back into the more prairie area, and that mud that I got all over my shoes. Let me stay over to the side of it. My friends, we have just about made it back to the car. Thank you for accompanying us on this journey today. We appreciate all of you. What an adventure. I can't wait to see you on the next one. We appreciate all the following, liking, subscribing, following us on Instagram. I just want to say we truly are grateful. So for Ash, the kiddos, Winston, me, I hope you all have a great weekend, rest of your week, and we'll catch you on the next adventure.